good, you guys? It is Nick, your average girl, and let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room right now. Obviously, I do not have any visuals for you guys today, so I definitely apologize for that. I'm also going to apologize for all the background noise and the car noises and the horns and blinkers and whatnot, because I am going to be in the car today for this episode. So I'm just going to say sorry right now. But we'll make it do what it do. I know pretty much the only people really listening right now are people that know me personally, which I do appreciate you guys, and I hope you understand. So before we get into pretty much the topic for today, I just want to kind of let you guys know where I'm at in life. And I'm kind of just like in this phase where I just kind of have to prioritize my main goal, which is just paying off debt right now. So I know I've been pretty much slacking on my IG and my other platforms. Like, trust me, I know, but that's kind of why I'm still doing this today, because I still want to be consistent in putting my content out for you guys. It just isn't as good of quality as I typically like my stuff to be, obviously, but we'll kind of just cross that bridge when we get there. If you saw one of my posts recently, it had said something along the lines of like, prioritize what you need to prioritize. And for me, I'm just in hustle mode and paying off this debt, so then I have so much time to commit to literally my podcast and my social media and all that good stuff. So that's where that's at. That's kind of why things just have not been up to par like I normally like them to be, and just kind of wanted to let you guys know that. Also, last thing, and then I swear I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I did change my IG handle to Nick, your average girl. So N-I-K, your average girl. So make sure you follow me on there if you're not already. No dots and no underscores or anything. So nice and simple. Okay. So today is a little bit more personal, just kind of giving you guys some insight on my background, and I'm going to be talking about why I stopped dancing. Now, I did a video on this probably sometime last year or 2 years ago, I think, and that was actually when I was still like training. Like, I wasn't in California anymore, but I was still training out in St. Louis, and now I'm not even doing that. So I just kind of want to give you guys the rundown of what happened and kind of how it affected me and all that good stuff. So pretty much, for those of you who don't know me or my story, I started dancing in high school my freshman year, just high school dance and drill, nothing crazy, not super competitive or anything like that. I really liked it. I kind of was just a little natural at it. Like, I wasn't as good as I've become, but I was a natural and I really liked it. By my junior year, I wanted to find a studio so I could dance more, and I did find one. It was a hip-hop based dance studio, but I trained in jazz, tap, all that good stuff. So come senior year, I graduated a semester early from high school, and I literally was like devoted to dancing. Like, I was literally up at all hours of the night dancing and training with my mentors. And it was a really great time in my life. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I got insight on, you know, the thing to do was to train and move out to LA and dance professionally. That's, you know, background for artists on tours and commercials, you know, professionally. So I was like, heck yeah, like, that sounds fun. Like, I want to do that. So I pretty much got everything organized, did what I had to do, and moved out to LA when I was 19. So I was out there, and obviously everyone knows California is very expensive. So I had my fair share of roommates and struggles and whatnot. But one thing I feel like is really important to keep in mind is that my goal really in life has always been to be financially well off, financially free, and have a lot of money to live every day how I want to live it. And that just kind of came from seeing my family just hustle so much that they were like so drained and just like at some points literally miserable within their careers, and I knew I did not want to live my life like that. So I was like, I like dancing, like, that's fun. And I mean, you're dancing for freaking famous people, like, how do you not have money? Like, that's pretty much where my head was at. So pretty much I had like a regular job when I was in California. I worked like a regular 9 to 5, and excuse me, that was that. I feel like that was just normal. And if you know me, you know I'm very like structured. Like I need consistency, especially with my finances, but within my schedule, within like my relationships with people. Like I need structure and consistency within literally every area of my life. So I had to get a job, and I noticed that, dancers specifically, but even other creatives, you know what I'm saying, like rappers or musicians or whatever, like they're very free, very go with the flow, and they have a lot of faith in their potential and their craft and themselves. And a lot of people within that industry did not work a regular 9 to 5, and I was shook. I was like, what? How? And what I noticed is like it seemed like a lot of the ones that did have like a standard job, like they really weren't like booking jobs. They really weren't working within the industry, it seemed. And of course I didn't know everyone out there, but from the ones that I did know, I was like, it just didn't seem like they were actually working like within the dance industry or whatever. So that was interesting to me. But I still had my job. I was still training. I was taking classes. And really to get anywhere in LA, you really do just have to be around. You have to train with, specific people often, get your face, recognized, and just like hustle and grow. And, they'll see that, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, you just have to be consistent with who you're around and who you're training with and the classes you're taking and stuff like that. And that was something that I had a hard time doing, working a regular job. My schedule, would vary, and pretty much I couldn't really take the same classes every single week, and stuff like that. So that was hard for me, and I even knew from the jump that I was not doing a very good job at being consistent within who I was around while I was living there. So at one point I had 3 other roommates, and at some point 2 of them kind of just started beefing. It was a whole thing, and it was just a terrible situation. And so pretty much everyone, all 3 of them, were like trying to move out. And this was within a week of rent being due. And so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are telling me I got to come up with this $1,550 by myself in the next 5 days. Like, are you kidding me? And mind you, I've been training. Like, I've been spending money on these classes to train. And I'm like, my hourly is half of what a class would cost. Like, literally, like, classes were like $20 each class. Like, that was no joke, okay? And my parents, like, they helped me as far as, like, they were still paying, I think, like, my car insurance. And then for a little bit, my dad was still paying, like, my phone bill. So I still had a little bit of help, but, like, not like a lot of, like, some of the people out there. Like, I noticed, like, a lot of people had a lot of help from home, which is a blessing. Like, I'm definitely not knocking it, but I'm just saying I didn't have that. And so I'm getting paid, like $13 an hour maybe, but classes is $20 per class. So I'm like, I'm just trying to keep up. So I didn't know how the fuck I was supposed to come up with $1,550 in 5 days. And thank goodness it all worked out okay. But literally in that moment, like, that whole situation literally made me grow so much. Like, if you knew me kind of growing up, like, very much a pushover, very kind of timid. Like, I didn't like confrontation. I didn't really handle it well. I would get really bad anxiety whenever there was some uncomfortable stuff going on. Excuse me. And I just in that moment, like, something happened, and a switch was flipped. Okay. And it made me toughen up. It gave me a backbone, and that I need to, one, stand my ground. And I know I'm not really going to go into detail of what the issue was, but all in all, I just never wanted to depend on anyone ever again. Like, that's kind of where which I'm already very independent anyway, and I'm not used to it. And that was my first time with roommates, and you have to depend on them to hold up their end of the bargain, the bargain being rent. Okay. So just in that moment, I was like, I do not want to depend on anyone ever again. I don't want to do it. Like, no. So pretty much at that point, I definitely started, like, hustling. Like, I was working a lot, and not within the dance community. I had my regular job, and then I was even doing, like, Postmates for a while. Like, so whenever I was off or whatever, like, I was driving around, I would do like it was actually kind of fun, kind of cool. Like you could do like be in the audience for like different shows, so like Steve Harvey, Dr. Phil, Shazam. Like there's a whole bunch of like TV shows like you can just sit in the audience for, and so I would do that when I had free time as well. And then there was another thing, you could be in the background for like different shows, like TV shows or movies, so I did that. So literally anything dance related was like just like fading away. Like I really wasn't doing anything. I was literally just so concerned with making more than enough money that I literally just wasn't even dancing. And so anyway, that's just kind of where that was. I would take a class here and there, but it definitely wasn't consistent enough. And then one of my old roommates, she ended up moving out, but we were still like friends, and so I ran into her, or she came and dropped something off to me, I don't know. And we were just catching up. I'm like, I've seen you. She was like, she is booked, okay? Like she was doing literally all the cool things that I would have loved to do. She was doing like commercials. I don't know if she went on tours per se, but she definitely did like live stage performances with like major artists, like well-known people. And I always saw her on commercials. It was so cool. So I was just like, I've been seeing you. Like you are literally working. Like that's literally so exciting. And she just looked like down. Like just her energy was just very down. And I'm like, are you okay? Like what's going on? And she literally told me she wasn't really sure how she was going to pay her rent like that next week or something. And I'm like, what? You're telling me like you're booked back to back? Like I see you on all these different projects and all these different jobs, and like you're not sure like how you're going to pay your rent? Like it was just so interesting to me, and it was really surprising, and it kind of just made me reevaluate, like, okay, hold on, like I'm doing this because I would expect to make really great money doing something really fun, like it's dancing. Not saying it's not hard, because trust me, that shit will wear you out, okay? It is a challenge, like it is work, but that over like an office job, you know what I'm saying? So her working with all these major artists and these people, I'm like, how is she not big balling, my dog? Like it just did not make sense. And so it just made me kind of reevaluate, and I'm just like, my goal in life is I want to be well off financially. Like, do I love dancing? Yes, but I actually want to be rich as fuck, and that's just me being honest, and trust, like I'm working towards it and I'm gonna figure it out. But that's what I want. I want the financial freedom. So I was like, if a dance isn't really gonna get me there, then what? Why am I still out here? If I'm just gonna work a regular job, if I'm not really trying to grow within any company or any anything I'm doing right now, then really what's the point? So anyway, eventually I ended up moving back home. Trust me, that like shot my pride in the heart, okay? Because that just seemed so embarrassing. But I was like, screw it, this is literally my life. Like I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I could care less what anyone has to say, so whatever. But when I did move back, I was training more than I was in California. One, because it was more affordable, but two, because I still wanted to dance, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think I was really doing it like just to prove to everyone that I didn't give up on dancing. Like, I don't think I was really doing it for me at that point. I was just like, I just moved back from California. Like, that's a really bad look, but I'm still a dancer, and I think that's kind of more of why I kept doing it for so long. But I did have a great time training. Like, I really do love training, and it was fun. So it's not like I was like miserable doing it, but I don't think I was really doing it for me at that point. But I was at that point when I moved back, like I got certified. I was a personal trainer. So I was like working out for 2 hours a day, multiple days throughout the week. And then I would dance almost every day and literally just like burn thousands of calories. Like, I was just on the go. And that's honestly when I was in the absolute best shape of my life. Like, get me back to that, okay? Because a girl was slim. My little abs was trying to poke out. I felt good every day. I felt energized. Like, I felt like really light. I don't know why I got this frog in my throat. Anyway, so that is kind of where that, or that's just kind of where I was at in life. So then COVID hit, and obviously everything shut down. I wasn't able to dance at the studio or train or whatever. And so things started opening back up. And one of my mentors, who's literally freaking amazing, like literally one of the best in St. Louis, one of the best, period, in my opinion. But anyway, his company was about to like start back up or whatever. And with any dance related, like sports related, whatever, club type of thing, like you do pay dues and fees and stuff, right? That's normal. So pretty much like I auditioned for it, I got in, and sorry, I'm deciding what lane I want to get into. I'm just gonna stay here. Where was I at? Okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so his company was about to start back up, and I got the confirmation email or whatever, and with all the dues and the fees and stuff, and I just like took a moment, and it's not that I couldn't afford it, but it's just like I had to ask myself, like, Nikki, mind you, I haven't really been dancing for like a year, and I've been dabbling with other things and like experimenting and trial and error with some other things that I'm interested in. And I'm like, Nikki, are you gonna go back to dancing just because of your pride? Like, just so, it doesn't feel like you gave up on it, and like to prove to everyone you're still a dancer, when it's not gonna do what I needed to do for me. Like, at that point, I was like, I don't see dance being my primary source of income. Like, I just didn't see it. It was fun. I liked doing it. It definitely kept me in shape, but it's not going to do what my ultimate goal is to do, and I just knew I was kind of past probably my prime with dance. I already lived in Cali. I kind of already did that. I didn't plan on going back to do it again. So I was like, why am I going to now invest, money and time if I know I'm not going to work towards it and do anything with it? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the conversation and the realization I had to have within myself. Like, Nikki, it was a good run. You like it. You worked hard to get better at it, and you had great opportunities. Thank you like so much to my mentors that like gave me these jobs and these opportunities and performances. Like, it was an experience of a lifetime, and I really enjoyed dancing and performing, and I think people liked watching me dance and perform. And it was a hard realization to come to, because I'm like, no, I love doing it. I like how it makes me feel, but I have other goals that I really want to accomplish, and dance just took up so much time, especially if I was going to commit to the company. Like, it was just time that I would need to commit that I really wasn't willing to commit at that point in my life. And so, and this is sometime maybe last year, 2020, like the end of 2020, I guess. And that was just kind of the conversation that I had to have. So pretty much at that point, like, I decided I wasn't going to do the company, and just ultimately stopped really dancing altogether, honestly. And I've tried to force it. Like, I've tried to like put together some old projects that I wanted to do, and kind of get back in the scene, but it just doesn't feel natural anymore. It feels forced. And I was just like, I'm just going to let it go, But best believe if I'm like, if there's some music playing, I'm going to dance to it, what I'm saying, for fun. But I kind of let that go. But it's crazy, because in the moment, I did not realize how much dancing kept me in freaking shape. Like, I was snatched, okay? I was literally snatched. And I stopped dancing, and I'm like, y'all, I'm just getting a little bit extra fluff, okay? Like, before I could just kind of eat whatever, because I was burning thousands of calories every day between working out and then dancing. Like, I was Gucci. I was like, I'm good. Yeah, that's not the case anymore. So now I got a little extra fluff that I really don't want. And I've just been trying to figure out a better balance now with my day-to-day life, because dance, like, just kind of like, dance really kept me in shape. So now it's like I miss having that body and like that physique, but that was like all the work that it's gonna take to get back there. I'm also at a point where I'm like, that's not really what I'm willing to do. Like, I'll go get my workout in, but I'm not gonna be at the gym for hours and hours on end like I used to be. Like, again, I have other goals, and I like would rather spend my time right now investing in new ways and opportunities for me to grow my business and just like entrepreneurship in general. Like, that's really what I want to focus on. So like, I just kind of had to, I'm at a point right now in life where I just kind of need to accept it and just work on like building better habits in general, more so regarding like my health, to kind of help get me back to where I want to go. But like once I accomplish some of these goals, it's going to be so much easier for me to then focus on like my health as a goal, or my physique per se. Like right now, like I said, my goal, folks, is I am paying off this debt, and at the rate I'm going and as much as I'm working, hopefully within the next year. Like before I was planning like 2.5 years. I'm like, yeah, I'll get it paid off. Like I was like, nah, I want that shit paid off now. Like got my jobs. We probably up to like 4 jobs right now. Okay. And I'm still trying to figure out a little side hustle for some passive income. And that's just my goal. Like that's just what I'm mainly worried about. So I can't do that and try to get my ideal physique again, because realistically I don't have the time to meal prep like I used to. I don't have the time to sit in the gym for hours on end. Like trust me, I'm gonna make time to get it in so I don't fall off completely, but I know it takes a lot of work to get back to where I was, and I'm just not at that point. So I'm just going one goal at a time. My goal right now is to pay off this debt. The goal is within the next year or less, hopefully, but that's where we're at, and that's what's going to happen. And then we'll set the next goal and get that done afterwards. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown on why things are changing. I know it's been kind of weird, especially like with me trying to grow on social media. Like a lot of my following right now is following me because like I was a dancer, and now I don't want to be known as a dancer. Like that's not what I'm doing. So that's also kind of weird for me, but it's a process, and I'm really just trusting the process and trying to be consistent and show you guys what I want to do, and like really give you guys some value in other ways other than just dance and entertainment wise. So that is pretty much my story on why I no longer dance. And if you didn't know, I hope that it was insightful, and maybe it kind of helps you in whatever goals you specifically have for yourself. You guys can do anything you want and anything you put your mind to. So just keep working and keep pushing, because you guys got it. And I thank you guys so much for listening and supporting me, like literally more than you know. So make sure you follow me on IG. My new handle is Nick, your average girl. No dots, no underscores, none of that. And I will see you guys. Well, not see you guys, but I will talk to you guys very, very soon.